Before we even start the show, let's talk about something that just happened in the news. The DC universe is in turmoil. Let's start off with Ben Affleck.
Isn't it?
Ben Affleck is in rehab. We've got Wonder Woman who's kicking butt, new movie coming out. The Aquaman movie that's being made, test screenings of it, says it's okay, just a little better, maybe a little less than Han Solo. Cyborg movie is not going to be made for years because it cost way too much money, they said, to do the CGI through the whole movie with human and the metal parts. It's just too expensive. And then today, we're timestamping this. Henry Cavill is said to had altercations with the DC execs about making an appearance in the Shazam movie. He's doing another TV show for the Netflix thing and all blah, blah, blah. And then he posted something on Instagram saying that is he with them or isn't he? Because the reports were he is no longer with them anymore. His manager, Danny Garcia, shared a tweet on Wednesday writing, it said, "Be peaceful. The cape still's in the closet, and WB Pictures continues to be our partners. They evolve the DC universe." One. And then the spokesperson for Warner Brothers told people in a statement earlier, while no decisions have been made regarding an upcoming Superman films, we're always had great respect and a great relationship with Henry Cavill, and that remains unchanged. So that sounds like, no, it's not going to happen. And all the trades are saying, And then Henry Cavill, and his manager released a video. What the hell does this video from Instagram mean? Do you know?
Well, I think you have to look at all the different sides first before you analyze the video. Because, so you mentioned about the Supergirl situation, but there's other sources why you always want to look at articles around the world. So in the UK, they're saying that Superman is like a James Bond. And after a search and run, you have to look at new actors. This is a studio source that claimed this to THR. And so one of the things is that, are they considering Henry Cavill one of the ingredients of him not being great? I think Henry Cavill is one of the great Supermans out there. It's devastating. So while they're fighting for it, I think he's fighting for it back because of the actor. If you look at his t-shirt, he has Krypton lifting team, right? So he's defying all the weaknesses are out there. Studios putting you down, it's our way or the highway, and he's negotiating and using the audience and the appeal, not wanting him to go. Like, look at all the comments, like, "Daddy, please don't tell me this is so," and other information. And you, even off the air, we were talking like how delicious he looks at. And also, he selected either the most convenient toy that's close by, that is the ugliest toy on, you go to Henry Cavill Instagram, but it's also an action figure moving. So he's very serious. He's very intense. I think he thinks this is ridiculous type of joke, but he's going to push forward to it. But this all depends on everyone else. But he's really popular everywhere else in the media. Mission Impossible Fallout, it did really well. He's really been chumsy now with Simon Pegg, who can write him an amazing script. So it'll be interesting if they figure out what Shazam is doing. I do know that now that in the MC universe, which you're going to mention in a few moments, are going more for female leads because of all this momentum that's going on there. But, I really think the firing that needs to happen is the executives for DC, not necessarily the actors.
I totally 100% agree with everything you said, especially the executives. And I've said this. I was on Facebook and Twitter, and then people were responding back, "Oh, the agent said something different." And I said, look, no matter what anyone says or what's going on, there's nothing wrong with Henry Cavill. There's nothing wrong with his agent. Nothing wrong. But what I did say is they need to step back and stop making movies for at least a year and think about what they're doing before just throwing stuff out there, because I actually want to see a good product put out. And you're ruining my comic books by putting crap out like Batman versus Superman. Didn't come out the best. I tried to fight for it in Justice League. There's more crap putting out. Don't rush anything. Take your time. It's not that hard.
No, I know. And the thing is that the actors they have are really, really good. I mean, they're convincing in all those roles. it's really about the writing and the direction that they're going to and the people they're selecting.
Well, the bosses are all, we need this done fast because Marvel's doing this. We need to do this because Marvel's doing this.
But Marvel took their time.
Yeah, who cares what Marvel's doing? You're not Marvel.
Thank you. Good job.
Do it the DC way. The DC way says it that. You guys are maybe the people in the cartoon department who run all the cartoons and do all the everything should come over there and start running the movies because every cartoon is amazing. And I was thinking about this driving today. The best movie I've seen so far come out that not only has a funny plot that opens up, and I couldn't believe they did it. I couldn't believe the script writing. I couldn't believe how well it was put together. It made me laugh. It made me sad a little bit, made me think, and it had so many tie-ins and had the best ending credits for a DC movie. What do you think that was?
Tell us.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies was the best thing they produced. I have never laughed so hard. And at the end, that was the most exciting extra bonus feature at the end. And it was done with something that we really wanted to see brought back. The original Teen Titans. They're coming back. And going back in time and everything. And everything in that movie was done so well. They put a little bit of my Back to the Future in there. They appealed to my son. They appealed to everyone in the audience. I heard people laughing. Some people were, and you know what I mean? If they can do that, get them to start writing your scripts for DC. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's start this show, and then we're going to come back and talk about this, shall we?
Welcome to Comic-Con,
where once a year, sci-fi buffs take their lips off the barrel of a loaded gun and spend half a day adjusting their eyes to sunlight.
You want to see a comic book with pregnant zombie nuns?
You psychotic nerd!
Dude, what a bunch of freaking nerdos.
Good to see I'm white and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
I'm a nerd too.
Your personality needs some work.
You're not part of the popular clique.
But I was kind of a lonely nerd in high school.
I started a quilt. I did yoga twice a week. I wore flip-flops in public.
I like to roll with the gangsters. Although it's apparent I'm too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
You're a nerd.
My name's Dirk Benedict, and you, lucky souls, are listening to the Nerd Side.
All right, and that is our big intro, and we're on a tangent. Sorry, we had to do the whole Henry Cavill thing and talk about that. All right, before we get back into this, follow us on social media if you have any comments or you want to say anything about this or reach us about this. Twitter, send us some stuff. It's always at Your Nerd Side. All right, tweet us. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, and don't forget Instagram, Tumblr, and also just go to www.yournerdside.com and you get everything there.
You don't have to put www. You can just put Your Nerd Side. Times have changed.
I'm very anal.
All right. Anything else you want to cover on this DC thing, or we ripped enough apart about DC?
Well, I think what's important for the executives to remember, like in the 1930s, they have to think about why were DC comic books created, and it was to inspire other people. Mm-hmm. From major classics to Dr. Occult to, this is for like the hardcore people, but that's something that you need to kind of think about. And it's not about, they're treating it like Snapchat. Oh, what does somebody really like? And who in my group likes it? So stop treating these movies like Snapchat and be original, be creative. And remember, if you don't love the comic books, if you're not in that world, get your decision-making finger off the button and give it to someone else who's involved and loves this.
I think they should bring Kevin James more into the picture. Do you know that? He's a bigger fan for DC than Marvel, and he's said that many times. He didn't even really want to do Daredevil, but he was like, I'll do it. He's more of a DC guy, but I think he would kind of pull things together and fix it. I don't know.
Well, nobody knows right now, but everyone knows that there's a lot of excitement for Wonder Woman 1984, and they're doing great promotions here and there. And I think if they let the guys give some input, I think the Henry Cavill and even Ben Affleck, and hope he does better as time passes, but they have some decent input. Ben Affleck won an Oscar too. These guys know what they're doing.
That's another rumor. They said that why he was drinking so much and so much stress was on him is because DC hired him. They said, hey, we want you to direct, write, and I want you to make a movie. Well, DC naturally thought that, we're going to get this guy who did this amazing movie that he directed and wrote, and it's really, I want you to do that for the next Batman. So I want you to win an Oscar and everything. They're expecting so much from this guy. And when you put much pressure on a person, it can make you snap. You know what I mean? When you want to perform all the time.
Yeah, but you have to remember, if you have alcoholism, that's a disease. That's something that's pretty much ingrained. I mean, there could be other factors, but it sounded like this was a relapse, and I just think that he just didn't use a support thing. So I don't think that's necessarily the reason. I mean, any actor who's in the field, you're always being judged. How you look, how you sound, how you feel, what you said, what you did. And that's why I'm just so shocked about Henry Cavill. He does such an amazing job. I mean, Ben Affleck, I think everyone's understanding that situation. But with Henry, come on now.
All right, so a little later on the show, we're going to be talking to somebody we were at Stockton Con with from the TV show, cartoon Rick and Morty. They wanted a comic book done, so they had this guy named Kyle Starks who has some amazing talent because the comic book is well written. And it's very, very up there with the whole Rick and Morty style. So we're going to talk to him momentarily about the comic book, how he got started, what he's doing, and all the good stuff. And you're going to like that. Stick around for that. But since we are talking about movies, the comic books, all that good stuff, a big thing that worked for DC is females so far. And it's Gal Gadot has led the charge with the Wonder Woman movies, director female. And then more is coming now, female movies. Of course, Henry Cavill, they're saying that they're going to go first with a female casted Supergirl movie, but the Marvel universe is doing it too. So we got Captain Marvel, and then Kevin Feige is now recently was talking in interviews saying that expect more female-led movies to come out, more comic book movies in the Marvel universe. Is this a good thing, or are they just rushing it, or are they just trying to be on the bandwagon more? What do you think, AMV?
Well, I don't think there's no rushing. It's more of who are they really going to cultivate. And Gal Gadot did a wonderful job, but let's remember there's been a lot of powerful women who did roles. Just take a couple of them of A View to Kill, right, where women started getting bigger leads in action flicks. Wanted as well. Miss Congeniality. I can never say that.
Miss Congeniality.
Thank you very much.
It's all right.
Right. The
only reason I can pronounce that is because over years my bosses yell at me when I mispronounce a word, so they make me, and I'm scared, so I always make sure I can pronounce every word.
Please don't yell at me. But anyway, so there's been a lot of really motion going on there, and what I would say that Wonder Woman solidified the decision that this is worth the investment. Think about how long with Scarlett Johansson they were saying, why isn't she going to get a movie? Why isn't she going to go? And then Gal Gadot's like, damn, we missed that, but we better hurry up and make our movie.
Scarlett Johansson's solo movie Black Widow is slated for the next Marvel run.
That's right.
They just got to get rid of this. So what movies, they said they're going to go another 15 years to do movies again. Expect more Marvel movies. And there's a prediction of different things that probably come out. And I threw out, and if you look at the post, it's on yournerdsite.com. I was going with She-Hulk. I would love, because you just don't have to worry about that. She was part of the Fantastic Four, part of the Avengers for a while. She was all over the place. She actually talks. Do you know what I mean? In an intelligent manner, not Hulk, and she's more interactive with them. I think it would be a better fit for a female movie. Do you agree or no?
Well, I think it'd be great if they did something totally different. So I don't know if you know these characters, like Monica Rambeau,
no.
a.k.a. Spectrum. What do you mean no?
Don't know her.
Well, that's my whole point. So she actually called herself Captain Marvel decades before Carol Danvers came in there. 1980s, New Orleans, patrol agent. You would see an African-American female as well.
Oh, is she black?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Shuri from the Black Panther, right?
No.
So she takes the role and brings the Wakanda Forever in there, knows one there.
Yeah.
Gamora, she has the power of the screen. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's a great actress. Shayna, the She-Devil, right? So remember back in the days for those older folks, Sonya was out there, and Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Oh my God, do not paint horses.
That is so weird. I just watched that the other day.
Oh, of course you would have.
It was on
Firebird, which is also from the Marvel, right? So bringing in like that Texas Little Special. What's really popular right now for those alternative folks is Squirrel Girl. You hear about her in the new Avengers.
They're thinking about making her
right?
into a character.
I don't agree about Hellcat. I know they've been talking about Catwoman. It's a done thing. Yes, there's a lot of promotion of She-Hulk. I think it's really because of her boobs, to be honest. That's why everyone wants it. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch.
Boobs.
I like her. I think the actress does a good job, but I don't think she's going to attract. But the one that I really love
What?